Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and we just got this little ramble coming at you. I just want to talk about your first MMO. I want to talk about what is the best MMO to play as your first. What is the absolute greatest game that is an MMO for new players? And this was actually brought up by somebody in the Discord named Floral Fury, who asked this directly. What would be a great MMO to start with if I'm trying them out for the first time? And I wanted to make a video on this because I think that you guys want to know this as well. Being MMO players, or you're just trying to get into the genre, try to find new games. I want to really say this. And as somebody who always tries to make top 10s and to categorize these different MMOs and different genres and try to get these out to you guys and try to explain them to the best of the ability that I have. Really, in the end, I think, and I do mention this a lot in Discord arguments and things like that, or in the comments, in a few videos, I want you guys to try to remove your biases. You know, try to go in with as wide eyes as possible to any game that you go into, MMO or otherwise. But my response to Floral's question, what would be a great MMO to start with, and I could probably make a whole top 10 on really good MMO that aren't too difficult to get into, that are a little bit easier, generally geared towards younger audiences, sure. But my true response, what I really just want to come out and say is that really the answer is any MMO. Because the magic of massively multiplayer online games is that they create a world for us to go and explore with other players. And they're supposed to have lots of weird mechanics. It's supposed to be a whole new, different, totally crazy different experience versus any other genre of video game. And so the magic of MMO is the discovery. It is the first time introduction into this experience. This massively multiplayer online experience. If it's an FPS like PlanetSide 2, or if it's a full-blown RPG like we see with Guild Wars 2. There's so many games and experiences under this umbrella of MMO, and there are some games that are a little bit easier to understand mechanically, or they might seem similar to some other genres, sure, you know, but I really feel that all of you guys are so worried about spending time and money and effort getting into an MMO that you need to kind of just peel that off. Just peel that off of you. Get that thing off your chest, remove your biases, and go in as a child. And if you are a kid, then you know you're halfway there. Go in with wide-eyed wonder into this new world, and you will have a time. You will have an experience, and I'm sure, actually, even if it's a bad game, you might look back fondly at the moments. There's been tons of times where I've done first impressions, which is my most popular type of a review, where we just play all these different games. A lot of them are bad, but over the years, I've learned that each time I go into a game, even though I already have biases, and it's like, oh, it's from this publisher, it's going to be pay to win, and even if all that comes true, it is pay to win. It is basically a copy-paste or almost copyrighted game. There are so many issues with the game, but if you try to go in with your wide-eyed wonder, I promise you will still find something there. I'm sure that everybody who could comment on this video today would say, most of the time, that your favorite MMO of all time is probably your first MMO. And that is probably due to the stagnation of the genre. A lot of games copy-paste. There's not too much innovation, at least recently. So yeah, generally, the game that gave you the most overwhelming sense of discovery was your first MMO. And now for me, I had that feeling for RuneScape. I had that, that magic with RuneScape. And then I had it again with World of Warcraft. And I'm sure you guys felt the same too. You probably played EverQuest, and then you played World of Warcraft. Maybe you played Camelot. The Dark Ages of Camelot. Maybe you played Darkfall. Actually, I started getting some feels for a Darkfall, because that's a really weird game. And I had that feeling for PlanetSide when I was playing back on my MacBook at 12 FPS. There's a couple of different MMOs that really punch you in the gut with that sense of discovery, with that sense of, whoa, this is something really, really new. So to me personally, that is what is truly the magic of what makes MMOs. It's supposed to be this big, open, multiplayer world, and then it's supposed to have all sorts of crazy magics or weird physics or some mechanics that you actually engage the gameplay with. So you know, I can suggest today and be like, yeah, Final Fantasy XIV, it's a good MMO. And it is a good MMO. And in fact, it's a great MMO if it's your first MMO, in terms of like, it's easy to understand mechanically. You can play it on consoles. It's good to go. But truthfully, I want to suggest more weird games. I want to suggest more strange games. Like, I want to say like, yo, dude, your first MMO, maybe look at Elder Scrolls Online. And that's not the most weird game, but it actually does play kind of strange. It is actually a pretty strange MMO. Some people want to say like World of Warcraft is an amazing MMO, and it is, but maybe look at Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 does a lot of really fucking weird things that you wouldn't expect, and like technically I think it is the most massive MMO when it comes to like the big PvE bosses. Like, it's so crazy. Even Black Desert Online actually is probably the one big one that I hate promoting, but I have to, just because it is so different and it is its own unique beast. And even if you don't like the game, for $5, you're gonna jump, or $10, I guess, $5, it's on sale all the time. You can jump in and you will have an experience. You will have memories. You will remember the game to an extent. And I think that's what makes MMOs cool. You know, you jump in and you're just trying to experience something and learn something and share this stuff with other players. So yeah, Black Desert Online, Guild Wars 2, Elder Scrolls Online, those are games that I can suggest because each one of those does some really weird things compared to standard MMO out there. But again, you know, Final Fantasy XIV, great, you know, cool game. It's easy to get into, but does it have the magic of truly of MMO that I wanted? For me, no, it didn't. It kind of sucks though. It's hard to look back and be like, oh, you should play Ultima. Oh, you should play this game or that game. Oh, you should play RuneScape. You can't. It's really hard to go back. You know, these games are dated. They look dated. The network lag is horrible often, but maybe new players, you can look at getting the RuneScape on mobile, maybe. Albion Online is going to be coming to mobile soon too. There's a bunch of other mobile ports of games. Maybe we can get into those, and maybe we can rediscover the magic of games that you just missed. Maybe you didn't grow up with them or something like that. So now that's a good time. That's fantastic. I'm happy about that. But I just want to say this again. I want to reiterate this. I know a lot of you guys are basically begging for new MMO to come out, and there's a new wave of MMO that are kickstarted that are coming out. Again, like I said, we have some games being ported to mobile, which is pretty exciting. But for the most part, there actually are some cool games out there, and maybe you're just skimming over it. Maybe you kind of dipped into Guild Wars 2 once or twice. Maybe you've seen Elder Scrolls Online, but I really am going to ask you guys to go back, especially to lesser known games. Maybe like Albion Online, which it's hard to recommend that, but it is a weird game. It is a special game. Maybe look at these lesser known games, like there's a new Darkfall coming out, and I could go on, which I literally do because I make all sorts of top 10 MMO lists. But you should go into them and try to remove as many biases as possible. And in a way, it's almost like I'm asking you to shut off your brain, but I'm not. I'm telling you to still be critical. I'm telling you to still spend your time and money wisely. But what I'm asking you is to genuinely try to go into this and try to have fun. Try to go into it and try to be social. Actually talk inside the global chat, talk into the map chat, go yell, ask what's going on. Let's make some friends, actually engage the community, engage the game. Don't just try to play it. Don't just try to walk through and just grind it and level it. No, really try to beat that shit. Really try to become good at the game. Really try to level up your game. Actually try to gamify the game. And that's how you're going to find the magic. And in the end, it might be a bad game. You might play it for 1 month and quit it, but you'll have an experience. Good or bad, you will have something. You'll have a memory. And just a little bit, a fragment of it will exist, but you will have just a little piece of magic from that time. So yeah, to me, the magic of MMOs is discovery, and the best MMO to play for the first time is almost, in my opinion, basically more or less any of them. The best MMO is your first MMO. Most of the time. But anyways, if you have an idea maybe of what your favorite MMO is, like if you already play MMOs and you just watch this video because why not, well, leave it in the comments below. I'm sure a lot of people are looking for games. I know it for a fact, so leave it down there. What is your favorite MMO, and which MMO do you think is a good introduction into the genre? Or if you have a list of your own, go ahead, slap that down. Let's talk about it, in the comments. I read every single one. Hopefully you guys join us down there too. I would love that, and I'm sure some kid or maybe somebody who's just, trying to trying to find some new stuff, they're going to enjoy that and they'll appreciate that as well. So thanks so much, friends and family, for participating, for hanging out. I want to give a clap. Thanks for the Patreon and the donations. It's been great. The channel's going, well, not strong, but it's going. And I just want to say, thanks for keeping the hype alive. Let's keep it up. Much love. See you in the next one.